Right, this is a good one. Shows that you have actually done a lot. I'm so excited that despite that you were not in that class, but I wouldn't know whether were you really in that class of yesterday? I'm not sure.
I was not in the class yesterday. I couldn't make it.
Good, good. Okay. So let me quickly go to someone else's screen and find out what he or she has done. Mr. You cannot share your screen. Mother, that is a nice work. Thank you for the commitment. Then
Okay.
Mr. Alfred, please can I also see your screen?
Okay.
I'm waiting for somebody was sharing screen. Mr. Alfred, we are waiting for your screen to come up.
What?
Yes, we want to assess. I want to see what you have done.
Can you see it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh.
Mr. Innocent, let me see if you have anything to show us. Okay, okay, no. Mr. Alfred, we can't see you yet. If you can keep trying. We can't see your screen yet, Mr. Alfred. Please kindly try again. Or well, while we are waiting for you, let me look at Mr. Mr. Innocent. Please, can we see your screen while we are waiting for Mr. Alfred's?
Please, the volume is so low. I barely can hear you.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Is it better now? Can you hear
Very
me?
low. Maybe I may have to disconnect and join again.
I
I
think,
really don't know.
please let me also verify from someone else. Please, are you also having the
Okay.
same volume issue? Like a complaint? Let me know if the problem is from my end.
No, the volume is okay.
Okay, so
Can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
okay, so Mr.
Okay.
Innocent, maybe.
I'll try and I'll disconnect and connect back, please.
All right. Mr. Ifaye, Mrs. Oye, please, if your screen is ready, let's see what you have done as well. Okay. 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 Okay, Mr. Odiari, let's say Mr. Ifaye. It's a nice work. At least you have assembled all your insights in PowerPoint. Okay. So, Mrs. Onyeye, please, let's see your screens so that we can continue. Maybe towards the end, we can assess others. Okay, so this is Mrs. Onyye's screen. Okay. Wow. Nice job. Okay.
Should I share?
Yes. Think of Mr. Innocent. Oh, it's so you said Mr. Innocent. You say something? Mr. Innocent, are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Hope my audio is good now.
I still can't. It's still very faint. Volume.
Okay.
I've tried it to the end. So which means
Are you trying to share?
Oh. You can carry on while I just see if I can switch it over.
Okay. Are you saying you don't have anything to show us that you have done so far?
I'm back online.
Mr. Alfred, is he all ready?
Yeah, I'm back online. Let me see if I can share now.
Yeah, quickly. So I think I have to still give Mr. Innocent more time. But let me just see if I can just see also how we can continue.
I'm sharing now.
We can't find it yet. I hope you know how to share your screen. Let's know if there's any way we can help you.
Yeah. That I'm
All right. It's obvious Mr. Alfred will not share his screen, so we just have to proceed. So let's add up to what we have done. So I'm going to share my screen now. All right. So unfortunately, my graph was not saved, but this was the analysis we did yesterday. We actually answered a descriptive question using a cell conditional statistical function, which is the sum if. So let me just quickly open the slide so that we actually know where we got all this from. I think it was under intermediate Excel statistical functions. Yeah, I think this should be the slide we are working with. I hope, let me see. Okay. Just give me a second. Let me sort out the slide. Okay, so all the analysis questions we answered yesterday were based on the application of sum if, which I describe as one of the single conditional exploratory function in a cell. In other words, you only need this formula where you are exploring insights from data where just one condition is required. So if you look at the formula we use here, if I may just click on it, if you look at it here, the only condition was the item type, which is just one. And meanwhile, in our data sets, we actually have more than one condition we can actually apply. So which we are going to explain if we are fast enough to conclude this single criteria analysis function. Now, the question we answer, just to recap for a few minutes before we look at the next exploratory function. The question we answer was that we needed to know the total profit generated by item type, because at the end of the day, we found out that there are 13 unique item types. There are 13 unique item types. So we needed to know, the company wants to know the profit each of these unique items are generating. So like I told us before, this is not done for a fund. This is actually done in order to know exactly a certain decision to be made. So perhaps it might be that they want to invest additional capital and they don't actually know which of the products you have the highest share of that investment. So trying to achieve that, we have to copy the whole of this value, the unique value, and we were able to delete the duplicated value, which was a technique we observed under data cleaning the other time. Now, I want to show us another way. Now, this method is the same sum if I am going to use. Now, there's what we call cell referencing. And I want us to pay attention because there are some questions you can actually answer simultaneously or periodically with this method I want to show us now. For example, we want to reference this cell. So I just want to write this here, cell reference, so that we'll know where I'll be imputing the criteria. Now, the logic I want to apply here is that supposing we are using this particular method where all the item total profit have not been summarized against them, because this is what we call categorical analysis, where you are comparing the sum of values against what? Unique value. It is called categorical analysis. Now, supposing we want a swift method of answering fast question. So this is what I'm going to do. The same question I'm going to answer, but by the time I'm done with it, you understand at which point you can consider it. So the idea is that I want to use one particular cell to answer these questions, or to analyze the total profit, such that once I impute baby food here, it will give me the what? The total profit generated. Once I impute cereal here, this same cell, it will generate the total profit generated. Once I impute office supply, once I impute any product here, it will analyze the result. So let's say this is a cell for result. So this is where I will be imputing the product type, and this is where I'm expected to get the output. So if that should be the case, see what we are going to do. So here I will just describe here, should just label here item type, item what? Type, item type. Then here, so which means that this particular cell is to impute the item type, then I get the output here. So this method is usually used, let's say you are managing a supermarket, and maybe someone wants to know the cost of a product. So once the person comes in and make a request and say, okay, I want to buy a phone. Now, for you as the supermarket manager that does not know when the product were captured in a particular sheet, just like the way we have them in Amazon sales data sheet now. So without any prior knowledge, you can just, okay, once the customer mentioned the name of the item, you impute it here, and then the cost price will now be outputted here. So I've just cited that as another perfect example for using this method. So what I'm going to simply do here, I will do, this is where I'm going to be writing the function, not here, because this one is to impute your item value. Then the answer comes in here. So that is why this is where the answer, the formula should be sum if, then I will go back to the data set and select the entire range. That is, any input you are going to impute in that item type in the analysis dashboard is expected to be an input that has been captured in this particular column. That is what we are saying. So I extended it so that in case there are future entry, they can also be analyzed with that. Then I will put a comma. Then after the comma, if you observe very well yesterday, what we did is that we actually applied it in two ways. The first method, I picked the item as the criteria for analyzing the total profit from the data source itself. The other method was the one I copied everything to the other sheet, and then I pick it from there. Now, what I'm going to do now is this. So I will just switch back to I'm not going to select the item from here. This method does not require you selecting any item from here, neither from the dashboard. So what I will do is that now that I've referenced the range simply means under which column the criteria for summarizing the total profit can be located. That is what we have done by selecting this. After adding the comma, you switch back to your analysis sheet. You click on this particular cell, which means that any value that comes in here is the one Excel sum if function should take and search out each total profit. Now, you put a comma there. So this time around, you just selected an empty cell that is here to receive a value. And the reason is that so that by the time I impute any of these unique item type, it can summarize the total profit generated and output it under what? Result. Or I can better what? Label here as total profit instead of result. So I will know that any output that reflects here is the total price. Why here is where you are to impute it. Then I have to go back to the data set and capture all the values under total profits as well. Okay, so in order to also give room for future entry, I will go beyond where the last record stop, and then I will press enter from here. It will output 0. The reason why it outputted 0 because it has not received a value. Now let's try it now. Let's say you copy this, you copy baby food and paste it here. The moment you paste it, it analyzes what? The total profit. Okay, so you can see now, if let's say I am asked in an office or in my workspace or place that, okay, how much have we generated so far for baby food? I will just type it. Now, let's say I'm asked again, okay, let's also find out how much we have generated for cereal. So I will just copy this and then just come here and paste it. Once you paste any of these values here, it will automatically analyze the total profit. So this is another method for quick analysis. So we refer to this one as one of the fastest way. So there's no point of view. So once the question comes, you don't have to start doing all those things. Just impute the value here, and then you get what? The total profit. It could be this is a supermarket where cost of item and their names must have been entered in a sheet, and then the person, the sales attendant or the sales rep, once you mention the product name, then he or she will type it here, and then to call out what the cost of that or the sales price of that product. So these are some of the techniques supermarket operators and other business organization uses when they employ particularly somebody who does not have prior knowledge of the cost of products. So they must have called an expert like you and I to have programmed a system like this that can help them to always know the actual price for each of the items. So I want to believe it's clear. Any question on this before I allow us to try it now in the class before I proceed with the other exploratory function? Any question?
I thought you said we are trying to find out the total cost, unit cost of item.
Yes, that is not what I did. I was only giving another scenario. If you want me to do it, I can also do it. Now here you have unit cost. Let's say you are the sales rep and you don't know how much an item is to be sold. Okay, so we can actually use this method. I believe, let me do it again quickly. It won't take time so that we can understand it better. So the question is that we are to develop a system that could help a sales rep to always check the cost of item. So let me just mesh here. Please, let's do it. I believe this will make us to understand it better. So let me just quickly mesh here and specify what I want to do. So let me merge and center. So the task here is develop a data system that can help to fetch item unit costs. Item what? Unit cost. So let me just make that particular aspect a little bit obvious. And then let me see if I can increase the size a little. Okay, so this is where I can just say type item name here. Okay, let's just say item type. So I will just call this value here. I believe I must have used that. I don't want to type again. That is what I have here. I want to quickly call it here. All I will do as an expert is just to type equals to and select that and press enter. So what we have done is that we have automatically what? Duplicated here. It could be a very long word that it will take time for you to type. That is when you use all these techniques. Now here, this is where the input, then this is where the result will be. So here what I'm going to do, I will just put item type. I will just put unit costs. Unit cost. I will just put what? Unit cost here. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do now, which is what I did, I'm not going to type the formula here because this is where the value will be entered. So I will type, this is where I expected the answer to be. So I will start with what I actually want to do is to display what? The unit costs of an item. So in that case, if we are summing, okay, that's going to be total cost because we have to look at the data. The data structure struggling with knowing what to do here because here it was straightforward here because we analyzed total profit. Here, because these products are repeated, you can have Australia repeated in different places. You can have one here, you have one here. Now, does it mean that is the total cost or total unit cost of that particular item you are looking for? Because if we are working with that data, now it will have been that you are either counting or you are summing. So what I'm going to do here is to simply relate with it as if I am summing up the total unit cost of any item imputed here. So I'll say sum if, or sum if, I'll go back to the data, I'll select the range where the criteria for the summation will be picked. So select everything, comma, then go back to your sheet, pick the empty cell where the criteria will be imputed for now, which is this, then comma, then go back to the data source and then highlight all the values you have under unit costs. So I'll take everything and also create room for future entry and then press enter. Right now it is 0. So if, for example, I bring it this, so I want to use that same method that I just showed us now, just put equals to here and just click here and type it here. It will call in the value and automatically what? I'll give you the total unit costs for baby food. So if I come here, I put equals to again and call in this and press enter, it will keep what? Analyzing. So like I said, this is one method that can be used. So it is left for you. But this one is faster when a question is asked and you want to quickly respond to it. So I believe it's clear now. Is that clear to everyone?
I don't know until we try it.
Okay, please, can we start? Let's everybody try it now, quickly. Let me give us 10 minutes. 10 minutes, everybody should try it. And meanwhile, while you are trying, I want to be hovering from one person's screen to another. Let me start with Mrs. Augustina. Please share your screen while others are also doing the same. So at some point, I will navigate to your screen and also see how you can use that same method. It's very important. You understand it. Okay, so please, others, you are also.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
I didn't really follow up, but can you do some time? Let me look at it again and do my place.
Okay. What I will do is, because it's as if I repeated it twice. So if you are asking me to repeat it, that is the third time. So, but before that we apply, let me switch to someone else's screen and watch the person. Maybe you might get it from there. If you couldn't, then I will just try it again. Mrs. Onye, please, can we be on your screen? So, madam, you can unshare your screen and watch the person sharing screen and see if you can catch up from there. Pause. Okay, so Mrs. Augustina, make sure you follow what this person is doing. I think she's just starting, so just be observing what she's doing.
Please help me and look at what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm okay. So I've picked the range. Then what will I do? I will now pick the empty reference,
Yes,
empty
yes,
cell,
yes. Click on it.
and
Then,
I'll put comma.
then go and select total profit.
But I'll put comma
Yes,
before
of
going to
course.
set.
Of course. Put your comma and go and select total profit value.
Okay. Enter.
Yes.
I should enter, right?
Yeah, press enter.
Yes, I've done that.
What do you have there? You should be having 0. Or yeah, input a value.
Zero.
Just type equals to.
I-
No. Use,
Okay, I will type equal to before I pick the value.
yeah, type equals to. It is good you master these techniques. Click, press enter.
Showing 0.
If it's still showing you 0, that means your argument was not well captured.
Okay, let me repeat it again.
Do it again. It's like you pick one
So
particular
equal to, please follow me, I beg.
Okay.
Submit.
Okay.
I'll go to the range,
Data.
right?
Okay.
Then I'll go back.
Yes.
I'll select the range.
Have you selected the range? Okay, comma.
Yes, I put comma.
Oh,
Yes.
see where you are making. Okay, have you added comma? Okay.
Yes.
Now, go and select now.
So I'll select the empty cell, right? Cell reference, the empty one, right?
Yes. Select empty. Okay,
I
comma.
should put comma too.
Comma again, comma.
Then
Okay.
I'll go back.
Yes. All the values in total profit now.
Profit. I should go back and press enter on here.
No, you press enter from here. You are not going back from here.
It's 0.
No, you are
Okay.
you are getting something wrong. It shouldn't take give you 0. Let's go again. Let's go again. That's all.
I should
Able to get it now.
equal to here.
No. It's like either my network is behind you, also you have to take it easy. No. Okay, yeah, good. Okay. I thought you have implemented that. Oh yeah, press enter. Has it displayed?
Okay, I got.
Good. So
Yes.
Madam Augustina, I hope you have gotten it now. Can you do it now? Madam Augustina, can you do it now?
Yes, I can do it. I'm actually doing mine in the background.
Okay, let me go to, I'm coming back to you. Let me go to somebody that I've not
Okay.
seen on our screen.
Okay.
For Ngozi, you joined late. Are you following? Okay, for Ngozi, please. Are you following?
I'm following, but I'm not following.
What do you mean by you are following? You are not following. Did you
I
practice?
cannot do it. I did not. I've not.
Why?
I've not had time to check on those other videos. But I will.
So hopefully I will pardon you today. Hopefully before next week Saturday. You must have watched all the video and what they are doing in the class now. You must as well done your own before Saturday's class, please.
All right, sir. I'll do that.
Okay. Mr. Ifeanyi, So after Mr. Ifeanyi's zone, I will continue with the next function. Ifeanyi, thank you. I think you are also good to go. All right. Let me quickly check Mrs. Augustina's one. Okay, Ms. Onye, you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Second question we answered, unit cost. You were saying that the function we are dealing with now is trying to sum up,
Yes.
not just, but I just went to the data now. I found out that the unit cost of each item is the same, irrespective of the country.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, I just went there now to do sort and filter. I used one country. I now found out that each item, no matter each item, they have the same unit cost or something.
Okay.
Per country, I believe. So that how can we actually know the unit cost as someone employed newly? You know, the person is not going to cram everything.
So let me
How
go.
do we find out the unit?
Let me go through it. Let me go through it and see what we have here. Let me also align with what you are saying.
Can I share my screen now?
Yes, you can share your screen while that is going on. You can share your screen. Let's see what you have done.
Okay, I'm actually here. After formatting the cell, how do I get the baby food to start showing on the cell reference column?
Okay. But I can't see your screen yet, so I don't know if it's only from...
You can't see my screen?
Not yet. It's only your image we are seeing. I don't know whether it's from my end. If others can see you. Let me okay, it's coming up now. Let me quickly attend to yes now so that I can come back to your question. Yes, your screen is coming up now. It's loading. All right.
So I formatted the cell. I just want to call up the baby food place. Did it.
Okay, somebody sent a message that the unit costs are different. Let me confirm. Mr. Alfred, you initially complained that you cannot see anything. I don't think that is correct. The unit price, somebody else supplying for the same region. Okay. Okay. Right. So let me assume that. But I'm still going to answer a question. Let me just see the outcome of Mrs. Augustina's one first. Okay, so Ms. Augustina, we are on your screen.
How do I? Yeah, this place. How do I call up the cell reference?
Type equals to there. Type equals to.
Okay.
Now go to that place where you listed the unique product and click on any one you want to view its total profit.
Okay.
So admitting you have not listed them here, you can as well call them from your data source. It will still work. But since you have already mentioned them here, just click on any one and press enter. Have you selected any item? I believe there is a place where you must have mentioned all the items. Okay, yeah, press enter. Press enter.
Okay.
Has it analyzed it? Because I can't see. Has it outputted the expected results? Okay, sorry, I timed out. Okay, so your screen is coming now. I was asking if you have gotten the results.
Can you?
Your screen is still loading. My network timed me out before now. No. Okay, break. Sorry. Okay. Mrs. Augustina, I was okay, good. Okay, I'm back now. Okay, yeah, I can see you have generated the result now. Hope it's clear to you now.
Yes, it's very clear. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So please, like I will always encourage us, get different data sets, run all these analysis techniques. That is the best way all this can be part of you. Please don't stop at the regular assignment I'm giving you. Give yourself more assignments. Okay, so now since that Mrs. Oye, I think let me come back to your question. Hope she's still here. Mrs. Oye here though. Okay, she's here. Okay. Now, Ms. Oye, if you can hear me, your question cannot be answered with this method.
Okay.
Your question will be answered when we get to VLOOKUP.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. I believe you all can see my screen now. Somebody should confirm that so that I can proceed. Can you all see my screen? You can all see my screen. I just need the confirmation.
I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you.
Can see your screen.
All right, all right. All right, now we are looking at another exploratory function. This time around, it is called countif. Countif. Now, I want us to remember that this set of statistical functions, which we are deploying as different techniques under descriptive analysis that answer the question, what happened? They fall under intermediates. Like I said before, these are set of functions that uses only one criteria to answer exploratory question. So if you check what we just did now, we only use one criteria. The criteria was the unique item selected. That is what Excel used in analyzing the total profit. Now, when we get to a point where it becomes more than one criteria, but for now, these ones are for single criteria. So you can only use them when the analysis criteria is one. Please, I want us to get that right. Okay, so we are looking at the countif. So countif is another statistical function in Excel, which can also be used to answer valid analysis questions. Now, let me break it down this way. Let's look at the result we have obtained so far so that you know at what point you will need the count. For example, you just outputted, I want to pay attention here, you just outputted that the total profit generated for Cyril as a product sold to different customer multiple times is 819.77, whether in dollar or in naira, we don't know. Now, I mentioned something the other time that you should be expecting as a professional data analyst. Always know that in your office,
there will be main question. And until you answer that main question, your boss or whoever is tasking you to perform this analysis will not have an idea of other questions that could follow. And those was the first under sub questions. For example, now you have summed up everything. And now the company wants to know how many times customer purchase this particular product that generated this. The same thing applicable to this. Okay, this is where we are working now. We are not talking about this unit cost. We are working with profit now. So we want to know, because at the end of the day, they are not going to just make decision based on assumption. They are going to make decision based on, for them to know whether why is Cyril generating, like we found out the other time, why is cosmetic generating the highest profit? Is it that we have more of numbers of transactions performed on cosmetic that makes it to generate the highest profit? Or is it that the cost price, the sales price of cosmetic item are higher or is higher than other products? You can't answer any of these questions until you perform your counting analysis. So what I'm going to do, I am going to put it here. I'm going to add it to this report. But let me put the question here. Let me merge this and write how many, just for us to get it very well, how many transactions, or let's say how many times customers purchase each of the item type. So this is the second question. Now I want this question to have the same appearance with this, so I'll just click on this one that I formatted, click on this format paint, and then touch this particular cell. So I have automatically duplicated the appearance of this on this in order to save my time. Okay, so how do we answer this question? This question is not the question you answer with some if. This is direct question, or a question you answer with count. Once the emphasis is on how many, then you should know that you are going to use what? Count, or you are counting. Now, I want to use this same tabular model to answer the same question. So the only thing I will do is that I will just add the title here, total number, total underscore number underscore transaction. So I will just add it here. If I want, I can display it in a separate place, but I just want to have it here. So I want to also replicate this format here. So I will select this part that I formatted, click on the save format paint, then touch that cell. So you have automatically what? Inherited the format. Now this is where you will now write the question, the formula. The syntax, if I could just go back to the slide so that we can understand the syntax. Now, the countif function in a cell is used to count the numbers of cells that meet a specific condition, as we are going to define. What is the syntax? The syntax is you start with defining the function name after you have typed equals to as a rule for activating function in a cell spreadsheet. Then you define the range and the criteria. So this one is easier to apply than the sum if. So now let's go there to answer our question. So this is where I want to put it, equals to count and then I'll select the one with if. Just like I just showed you there, the parameters that are needed to be given to this function to perform the expected task is the range. The range is the selection of the cells where the criteria for the counting is in the data source. So which means that I am switching back to my data source and then capturing everything. Now, I want to chip in another logic. Next time, instead of you selecting like this, trying to capture everything in the cell, then typing it again, trying to capture everything in the cell, you can do something like this. Click on the letter D. Once you click on letter D, you can see how it's configured it now. Nothing like D2 towards D 1,048,576. It's simply D to D. Now, most time, this one works. So if it doesn't work, then you fall back to the other one. So as we continue with the training, gradually I'll be chipping in some of these techniques, because if I show you all of them at once, it can confuse you. So I believe now you have mastered the selection of the entire cell in a column using the order by using the system of holding down the control and shift and tapping the down arrow button. Now I'm just showing you another method now where you just click on the letter. Now you impute your comma. That is the counting range. In other words, the criteria that will be used for the counting will be selected from this column. Now, what is the criteria? Now, I am switching back to my data set. I'm picking it from here also. So I'll click here. Now, we are not referencing 3 arguments, because in the case of sum, we actually reference 3 arguments. The reason is that sum can only add numbers. So until we call all the values under total profit, we have not referenced what? Number-based data type. That was the reason why we have to capture the range, then the criteria, and then we went back to capture what? The total price, sorry, total profit, because that sum can only add number. It cannot add string. But in the case of count, you don't need to capture that profit, because the question simply says how many times each of these unique products were purchased during the transaction. So I'll stop here and press enter. So in other words, this amount that you generated was made from 7 different transactions. So if I autofill now, let's try our log. So good. These are very good observation. These are very good observation, because yesterday when we autofill without exceeding where our record stopped, it was displaying error of ref that led to us doing it individually. But when you select that D, that column label, you can see that it actually work it out. So I believe it's clear. Is this clear to us? Please let me get a response before I. Is it clear, please? I need a response. Response, please. Please, I need a response at least from one person. Nobody is saying anything. Is it that you cannot hear me? Okay, so if you are not saying anything, try it now as your classwork. So let someone share his or her
screen also. Mrs. Mr. Ifai, please share your screen. Please, everybody should be doing the same thing. For those of us that have already started working, please add this particular report. Mr. Ifai, please share your screen. Mr. Alfred, okay, let me check. It's like I have some messages here. Okay, somebody say, please, I will catch up later. Thank you. Okay, that is Mrs. Augustina. Okay, all right. So, Mr. Ifai, please, we should also be looking at what he's doing. Okay, so Mr. Ifeanyi has gotten it. So let's go to Mr. Ifeanyi. Thank you. You can share your screen. Now let's go to Mrs. Onyeye. Please share your screen. So after Mrs. Onyeye,
I've gotten the first one. I've gotten the first item. Then other items, I can't autofill.
Yes, autofill. That was what worked for me.
It's giving me error.
Which method did you use? Did you use selecting the column label when you were referencing the range?
I selected everything. Let me just do it quickly.
Okay. Yeah, just go over it again. Let's watch.
Countif. I went to the range.
Okay. All right.
Then right. Okay. Is it to click on the alphabet?
Yes.
Or just
click on the alphabet.
Okay. On the alphabet.
Yes.
So
the network
before it will not.
Click on it. Click on the alphabet. Your network is, whether it is mine.
I've clicked on it.
Okay, comma. Then you go back to your dashboard and pick the.
Are you sure I did not click on it twice?
No, just continue. Your argument will tell you. You are still having just one C to C now. No. You have to. Okay. Go ahead. Press enter. Okay. Just autofill now. Let's see. Correct.
Oh, okay. So if we pick the range, do it. It will not work.
Yes.
I have to click on the column alphabet.
Good. So let's take note of that. Let's take note of that. So let's take note of that, please. Okay. That is another logic. All right. Do we have anybody who wants to share screen, or I should just proceed, because I want to actually complete this single analysis. Exploratory function
in tonight's section so that by Saturday, we'll look at these multiple criteria. Okay, so let me share my screen and quickly take the last one. So I will stop there. Let me quickly take the last one from my slide. I don't want to really bother us much because I know that we have really learned enough this weekend, so we can have time to digest them very well before the next class. Because the next class, please let me quickly say it here. You see, for those of us that kept saying I have not gone through the other video, therefore I cannot apply this. Please do yourself good to make sure that all these ones we have treated since yesterday and today, you take your time to master them, because the advanced conditional function that I'll be looking at in the next class, they are like an extension of what I have done so far. So which means that someone who does not understand the secret behind some if will not be able to use what? Some ifs. So please, I'm encouraging us to create time. I'm actually planning to see how once in a while I create additional time. It might be early in the morning, just to attend to people that are having issue or people that miss some classes once in a while, but not to encourage. But if I discover that some people are leveraging on it, I will just stop it. Because I understand that some people join late. That might be the reason why they are finding it difficult. So I'm planning to hold a kind of a class before Saturday, but I will communicate the time once I'm able to create time. I will let us know, just for those that join late, so that I can start afresh and see how I can bring them up to stage so that they will flow with us. So just expect that within the week. Now, let's look at the last one. The last one is average if. Sorry, I'm supposed to add if here. Average if function. So this is another statistical function that can be used for exploratory analysis. So if you look at the definition, the average if function in a cell is used to calculate the average, which means the arithmetic mean of cells that meet a specific condition. Now, there are a lot of business decisions that are usually made by knowing the average of certain values. In school, one of the ways you measure student performance is by knowing the average scores across all the subjects. That is what will tell you whether the child is doing well or not really on per subject score, because you want to know how the child repeats that status across order. Okay, so the same thing in data analysis. We would like to know, like that total profit. We want to know the average of total profits per each of these items. So the syntax is almost the same thing with sum if. Range, criteria, and then average range. But in the case of sum if, it was range, criteria, and sum range. The difference between this average and the sum is this. Let me use my annotation to explain. So if you have these numbers, let's say 3 and 4, and I'm asked to calculate the average will simply mean 2 plus 3 plus 4 divided by 3, because I have 3 items here. Okay? Now, but in the case of sum, what you did is that sum just simply added the values. Let's say 3 plus 4, without dividing it by the number of times those values are mentioned. So that is the difference between sum and an average. Average we add, and divide, but some we only add without dividing. So let's quickly look at our analysis question. Remember that I have given us the format that each time you perform your analysis, always go to your summary sheet here and write down your observation. So at the end of this exercise, what you are going to present next week, you are going to look for a different data set, not this particular one, and be able to run all these functions that we have treated so far, because that is the only way you can become professional, not just drawing insight from one particular data set always. Learn to expand your scope beyond one data set. It will help you so that by tomorrow, when they give you a business data set, because you have already trained yourself to draw insight from different data sets, you will not have issue. So please, I encourage us to look for different data as your assignment for this night lesson. Go and look for different data sets from Kaggle or wherever you can get it from, and perform all the intermediate exploratory analysis using these functions. Now, let's look at the question we are answering here. The question we are answering here is, what is the total average? So let me merge the whole of this. Let's say what is the total average of, let me quote it, total underscore profit per item type. So I want to copy this format. I will just highlight it, select this, then click here. So the question here, I want to add it here also. That is, I'm using one table. So I want to add it here. So what I'm going to quickly do is to select this. So indirectly, I'm showing us how you can add additional. It's part of what we have done before when we're still on the basic aspect. So I'm bringing another column. In other words, I want to shift everything I have computed here forward, and then be able to have extra space so that I will label a total average. So which means that I'm still comparing this item to total profit using and total number and also average. So I'll select the alphabet and simply select insert. So with that, I've just created additional space. So I will just label it what total underscore average. Total underscore average. Now I'm answering this question here. I want to put it here because your question says, what is the total average of total profit per item, which means that you need to give us the analysis of that average for each of them. That is the reason why I added it to this table where I am already performing categorical analysis. Because if I had put it here, it's either I'm using this reference method whereby I'll be imputing it and be getting the value simultaneously. So now let's put it here. The function, the syntax is average if. Now the sum range is the range in your data set where the criteria for calculating or analyzing the range will be cut from. So we are going back to this. So you will see that after some time, all this will be very simple because it is only that first one that usually appear difficult to all the students I have trained. Because it's as if once you get that one right, every other one follow the same syntax, but just like slant or slight differences. So now you select this again, select everything. So like now we just discovered that one now. So I'll use the alphabet method by clicking on the alphabet. Now, how do you know that you are using the alphabet method? Once it's showing D to D, as in the letter to the letter, then you know that what? It is no longer the order selection. Now, comma, then you have to, here we are dealing with 3 arguments, just like we did for sum if, because this average have to sum up number, have to add up number. So there must be a number base label. So we must capture total profit. So after adding my comma, then I will switch back to my analysis sheet and then pick this same product as the criteria for the average analysis. Then I will now also go back there and then select everything I have under what? This. Now, you have to be careful where you want to use the number method, the alphabet method. There is possibility of us generating error, probably depend on the version. Because if you click here now, all the values you have here, they are not numbered. This header will be a constraint. Why we got through with the other one, because all the values we have there, they are string. But here now, let's try our best. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, just know that you have to stick to the order selection method where you select so that you can exclude this, because this is not an integer, neither what floating number. So let's just try our best and see. So if I press enter, it analyzes it. So you can see that the versions are actually what? Updating. Because in the past, when we were using Office 2010, most of these things that are working now, we are not working based on the level of AI that must have been improved across this latest version. So I will just double click here to replicate the same formula and calculate other corresponding value. So these are the average. So I can decide to do away with the decimal unit, which I have taught us before. By coming here, you can say, okay, I want to decrease. I don't want decimal unit. I just want to view what? The value as integer, because I told us that in programming, integer is where you have a whole number, where there is no decimal point. While floating number is where you have decimal. So if I click here now, this has now become float number, no longer what? Integer. So I believe it's clear. Let me get a response before I conclude this class. I want us to close on time because I don't want to bring in the advance. Because even if I bring the advance, we may not be able to complete any one before the end of this section. So the best thing is for us to go with this and take our time to understand the previous video that some of us have not watched. Any question, please? Any question? Any question? Question? Is everything clear? Mr. Innocent, are you following?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. So here, hope is clear. Mr. Ifai, hope is clear. Ms. Ungozi, hope is clear. Miss Mercy, hope you are here with us, even though you...
It will be clear, sir.
Okay. All right. So one more thing which I would like you to do while presenting your report in our next class is formatting your table with border lines. Now, let me show us something. Let's say you want to see how the printout will come out. Let's go to File and select Prints. You can see that what? The grid lines are not there. Those vertical and horizontal lines are not there. Let me switch to landscape so that we can access more column. So you can see that what? The grid lines are not mentioned. So the reason why the grid lines are not mentioned is because you have not formatted your work as table. So what do? Highlight the whole of that area. This is formatting after you have derived all your information. Highlight it, then go to home. Then from home, come to this particular section where you have this extending. Or let me take it here. Let me take it here. Come to this icon. You see bottom border. Click on the drop down. You will see all borders. So once you click, you can see that automatically you have formatted your model as table. But before it was not recognized as table. So if I try to print again now, you will notice that it will capture the whole area you formatted as table. Now, but I'm having a challenge. The challenge is why is it displaying only this? You can see this dotted line, which means that this particular record has exceeded one sheet. So the whole of this will be in the next sheet. So if I go back now and do as if I want to print, then what I will do to view the remaining record is for me to go to the next page. If you check here now, it has captured everything that we have done into 7 pages. So if I click here, that is, I have switched to page 2 now, or sheet 2. So you can see, you can now access what you have there. Okay, so if there's no question, I just wanted also, when you are presenting your finding as your assignment in our next class, I want to see that you should be able to format all the areas where you are presenting your finding with table as table by. Okay, so question, if there's no question, any observation, any way we can improve our services, we welcome that. If you are not getting the method of our teaching, you want us to improve on any aspect, please kindly speak out. If there's none, then we can end the session. And I wish every one of us a blessed week ahead. Any question? Okay, so good night, everyone. Mr. Innocence, are you saying something? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Good
thank
night,
you,
sir.
thank you.
All right. Good night, sir. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, thank you. Nice having everyone here. See you next week, Saturday, or this week, Saturday rather.